So this is one of the analogies I use because you can explain easily the difficulty adjustment, and you can explain, the verification of the solution. Everybody can look into it. Connecting mining to people when you're explaining to reality is really the best, using analogies that people know. Using dices, pulling up the papers, the numbers from the bowl of the papers. So this is something how you can help people understand mining a little bit better. Another good analogy of the functions that happen in Bitcoin is using mixing of the colors. So maybe you heard something called the hash function. Hash function is something we call a one-way mathematical function. But for some people who are not, deep into mathematics, they're like, okay, what is this function? How does it work? So how I explain it is, imagine that I give you two colors to mix together. It's super easy to mix two colors together and get a third color. It's a very easy process. But imagine I give you one color and I asked you what two colors I mix together to get this third color. What you can do, you cannot separate these two colors from each other from the result one. You need to try it. You need to really mix any random two colors, mix them together, check if you have the same color that you wanted. If not, you need to repeat it again and again and again. So this is in the real life, this is the one-way function, right? It goes easily one way, but very difficult the other way around. Another good example of one-way function is if you mix milk with a coffee. Putting milk into a coffee, blending it together, from black you have brown immediately, very easy. But suddenly you cannot mix it the other way around to separate milk and coffee separately, right? It's not possible. It's a one-way physical function. As well, when we're getting more to like the cryptography part, we can take a lock. Lock is also a one-way function. You can easily solve it one way, which means locking the padlock without a key. You don't need a key for that. You just lock it and that's it. But solving it the other way, opening the lock, you need a key. That's difficult. It's not easy, right? So these are all the analogies that helps people to understand what is a one-way function, what is a hash function, what is mining, and how it works in mathematics without going in a detailed manner of what's hashing on a mathematical level. The mechanism or the algorithm that mining uses for this is called SHA-256, special hashing algorithm, 256 bits, and this is the one-way function that the Bitcoin uses for its own mining purposes. There is a bunch of other hashing algorithms. This is just one of them that Bitcoin uses. Another physical representation is a meat grinder. You can place meat inside, you can grind it and get a ground meat, but you cannot put it back again and get a beautiful steak. It doesn't work, right? So thanks to these one-way functions, it's very difficult to create Bitcoin. It's very energy intense, but it's super easy to verify it the other way around. And this was very important. Make sure that the money is created very, very difficultly. It's very costly to create the money, but it's very easy to verify that whoever solves that should receive the Bitcoins as a reward. So there is incentives in place. And as I said, Bitcoin mining, people think that all this hashing, it's like super difficult mathematics. It's not difficult mathematics. You just need to do a lot of computation, but it's easy math. You just need to repeat hundreds of thousands, billions and trillions of times per second. So there is a video of a guy on the internet on YouTube who was solving the hashing function with hand, with a pen on a paper. To solve just one iteration of the function, it took him 15 or 16 minutes to do it. So his hash rate was 0.67 hashes per day. And if you check the miners here at Bitmain, they have 250 terahashes, trillion hashes per 1 second. Humans, as a miners, we are very inefficient. We consume a lot of meat, we need to drink, we need maintenance, and we can just solve 0.67 hashes per day. So that's why we have machines which can do that. If you're really patient enough and if you have a low time preference, you can try solo mining on a piece of paper as well. So yeah, right now today we have these machines which are specifically designed to mine Bitcoin. In the early days it was regular computers, laptops, where you can mine 50 Bitcoins every couple of hours. People were just receiving, free Bitcoin. They were kind of spending it, losing it. So nobody cared at the time. Today, losing 50 Bitcoins or more would be pretty harsh. But these machines are I call them like a very stupid computers, which can do like just one thing brilliantly and the best in the world. But otherwise, you cannot play a game on this computer. The only thing it does is just solving SHA-256 function as the best computer in the world, the most efficient one. It's consuming the least amount of electricity on solving these functions. They are producing a lot of heat, a lot of noise. So, when we had our first Bitcoin mining container, just entering that, my ears were like hurting a lot. So we needed to wear protections because the machines are crazy heaters. And, now we're coming to the part of environment. Because when you're speaking with your family and friends about Bitcoin and mining, one of the topics that comes mostly is, oh, it's super energy intense. You will boil the oceans. You will, destroy the world with Bitcoin mining. So we're kind of being kind of sarcastic and ironic with this. We have stickers at our booth, boiling the oceans, proudly boiling the oceans. So if you're a miner, and you know that all these environmental things around Bitcoin is bullshit, you can wear a sticker boiling the oceans as well. All the governments, all the NGOs are saying Bitcoin is super killing the planet. But if you really look at the data, it's not like that. This chart is showing us that only the middle part, the orange part, is what really Bitcoin consumes if you look at the consumption of energy around the world. The number there is about 90 terawatt hours. Right now it fluctuates between 100 or 200, so it's roughly in the same terms. It's less than 0.1% of the total consumption in the world. So why we are focusing, and governments are focusing so much energy on solving something or getting rid of something that consumes less than 0.1%, if they could, try to make sure that the grid is more efficient. The more you look deeper into that, the more you see there is a different agenda between attacking Bitcoin from the environmentalist perspective. Here you can also see the gray part, which is basically the energy that is lost in the system thanks to inefficiencies. Green part, which is consumption of Bitcoin. So again, you can see why not to solve inefficiencies of the grid, and we are focusing on Bitcoin mining. It doesn't make sense from a data perspective. And let's look at the consumption of the Christmas lights. It's roughly, in America, a third of the energy consumption of Bitcoin is consumed only on Christmas lights. So let's ban Christmas lights. Let's ban washing machines and drying machines. Let's wash our clothes with hands. If you're looking at these arguments, it doesn't make sense once you show to people kind of these arguments about things that we normally use. So, no, you cannot use all that energy to make your own Bitcoin. Nobody uses Bitcoin. We don't care. Energy should be the same with money. You should decide on your own what do you want to use your energy on, the same as what you want to use your money on. And we are mining with a green energy in Paraguay right now. This is the third largest power plant in the world. And if you've never been to Paraguay, you need to go and check this place out. It's insane work of mankind. I was so astonished being there. And Bitcoin is also being mined with the flare gas, so it's carbon negative. So all the arguments of this carbon, it's like, it doesn't make sense anymore. Okay, keep this. This is our first power plant we've been mining in. We were turning cow shit into Bitcoin. So the term shitcoin kind of changes perspective. But yeah, we were creating Bitcoin from cow shit. If you're miners, be proud to boil the oceans, because in real life, you're not boiling the oceans. You're helping the planet to stabilize the grid. You're helping the planet to be more efficient with energy. And as Bitcoiners, you are also born to fix the money. So spread the education of Bitcoin within your families, within your friends. Be a Bitcoin educators, be a Bitcoin mining educators, and tell your family on the next lunch that Bitcoin will not boil the oceans.